relate to with what Cindy was sharing about offering value. Being making your presence felt.
We would actually need these inputs as well.
Should I continue?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so like I said, I help the firm like with their system and all that, and even currently we are trying to add additional operations and all that, and then I'm leading that kind of tasks for the firm.
Awesome.
And along the side, I got mentorship from a lot of people, right? All those who are part of the mentorship program are people that are connected with. I can text, ask for advice and all that. I also have one woman who also advises me in this like space and all that. So it has been a good journey. Like I said, full of doubts, full of difficult moments and all that, and combining it with EYCLF and all that. But at the end of the day, it has been like a good journey, and I've learned a lot, right? Building the blog for the fellowship, like working and doing all these things. At the end of the day, everything went well, and I'm hoping that I'll be retained and things will get better and better into the future. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Let me ask you this question: is there any one thing that you have learned and it's actually going to stick with you within this 1 year national service period that you have been, like that one thing that is going to stuck?
Okay, one thing I've learned, or something that will stay with me, is speaking out for myself, right? In that space, if you don't approach somebody to learn something, you will be there. You'll be sitting there. You wouldn't know anything, right? Yeah. So you have to take that step. So rather than sitting and waiting for them to come to you, you have to take that step. Go to them, ask questions, get to know more. Because I think for some time I realized I was just doing what I used to do, nothing new and all that. So I realized I have to just take that step. So I reached out to my supervisor and told her, I want to know more about this and that. And then she actually assisted me to know more. So it's like, if you don't take the step, no one is going to help you. Rather than sitting down and then waiting for that highlighted moment or whatever, you have to take the step to achieve that. So that's one thing that will stick with me, to always like reach out to get what I want, and then also speak up in meetings, right? I used to be quiet when you go for meetings. I won't talk, I'll just listen.
Changed you.
But recently I realized that like I started speaking in meetings and all that, getting good feedback and all that. So yeah.
It's one step at a time, and I'm really happy that you've found something that you are improving on constantly. It's really good to know, because you need to find opportunities. They are not going to find, you will need to find, and you creating that opportunity by reaching out to your supervisors, your leads, is actually creating the opportunity for yourself. So let me say kudos on that. Yeah. So I want, you mentioned one mentor who was on the call. I would really need his input, I think.
So we have to write a number, since the mentee don't want to talk. And
the mentors will have to speak for them.
Some few minutes. You can just call them. We have Frank, we have Wisdom, we have Mike, Lloyd. Yeah, we have Steven. So you can just
let me shoot my shot to Steven. Steven, it's been a while. It's really been a while, and we will need your input on this. How has this 3 months being a mentor? How have you impacted on your mentee? What are some of the things that you have, channeled down to him or her? And what are some of the challenges that you have encountered? I know you are very busy, and most of the mentors are very, very busy, but they still get time or find time to, share something with their mentees. And I would really appreciate it if you could share those things with us. Yeah.
Okay, Kennedy, thank you. I think the mentorship program was a good one, and I like the fact that when I received the invitation to join, I was glad to be invited to join the mentorship program. But unfortunately for me, I couldn't so much relate with my mentees because of some hitches that I have here and there. Actually, the time period that the mentorship program came in, I had some
Yeah, I think I get it. Yeah. That's true.
So I couldn't really give much to it, but I think the second half I will be available to, commit to it very well. So
that's great.
In fact, I was willing to. I really liked the initiative, and I was willing to put much into it. But there were other things to it that were just taking my time. Actually, I was able to get in touch with my mentees for the first time, but the other consistency, I couldn't really reach out to them. So I hope to, maybe the second half, I hope that it will get better.
Yeah. Definitely. That's well, thank you so much. Good evening, McLeod. And thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm okay, yeah, you invited, but I will not be able to stay on for long, so I just wanted to say something and then run off. Thank you.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough to be a mentor on this year's or this season's mentorship program. So I'm sharing a little experience I had. So coincidentally, both at my current workplace and in other areas I work, I had to be placed with mentees from different places. So aside EYCLF's mentees, I have other mentees on my plate, and I asked myself why, because I'm a kobolo. I just don't know how to sit at one place, and to be tagged in quotes babies was initially a burden to me. So there's one I think an intro everybody is busy. I'm not coming to give favors over here, like treat anybody with any kind of special treatment. A place of arrogance or a place of pride, but there is an account saying that abofra obeying onienu na so if you torment me that much, that is when I know that okay, you are trying to. I had some of them. On a very funny thing was that they were all ladies too, so you can imagine you have there's one name that will always hit me anytime I'm going anywhere, and that was Jessica from EYCLF. Like, that lady can torment you, and for me it shows everything about someone who wants to learn. She will torment you, she will call you, she will text you, she wants to know this, she wants to know that she is. What are you doing? Like, what am I doing as a person now that she can be of assistance to me? I can say that she's one of the best two mentees I've had this year. Not just to give any hype to EYCLF, but she did amazing. And especially because later we got to find out that we both like doing some things, like similar things. So it was easy for her to really relate to me, and for me to relate with her. So she'll be doing things, sending them over and all of that. I believe it was a good experience. There's one thing my boss at one of my places would always say, that you need to learn the corporate ropes to be able to thrive. Currently, what I would say to all the national service and people coming in here is now, I believe there is the God factor. People, we are all Christians. There is a God factor. There is the faith factor. But you need, if you want to be in the corporate society. I don't call myself a corporate person. I am a kubolo. I will say that. But if you want to thrive in the corporate setup, you need to play the corporate game. Sometimes that makes you look like a devil, but at the end of the day, you have to do it. I currently have a mentee, not unfortunately not from EYCLF, who is now the head of media and content in my company. And that is not because we didn't have options. That is because she knew what she was doing. She played her games very well. She would not keep quiet in meetings. She would share her views. She would. There's no meeting that she will go that she will have nothing to say. She always says things. She always talks. She always have something to say. She would always let her views be heard by people, making inputs here and there. So maybe you'll be doing better than this person, but because she is outspoken, because she is letting her word being known at places that are at the right places. Maybe you talk when you and your peers are around, but mind you, you and your peers are not the one going to retain you. You and your peers are not the one going to pay you. But she will talk at the tables that you are shy to talk, and so people began to know her. When it was time for someone to be retained, she was the one who was called. There is a way to play the corporate game. Let me call it the corporate game. There is a way to call it, and sometimes they are the people in the office we call petre at the end of the day, but they are the ones getting seen. They are the ones getting heard. So you might be good at what you do, but because of your silence, because of what you are not doing, people don't even know you. And sometimes it's good. People are actually watching. By the grace of God, you would be seen. But I believe 90% of the time, the people who are actually everywhere loud, I'm not saying be loud, but I'm saying that if you would talk, if you would share, make sure you are sharing your views, make sure you are talking on the tables that actually matter. So that is what I would like to share. It was a beautiful experience, and for me in particular, I have, out of the mentees that I had this year, I've had to take 2 on board of my personal team full time, so they're out of the mentorship program. It was a beautiful experience, and as a matter of fact, I've actually been asking myself, why haven't I been doing this all along? Because I now get to have people do stuff for me at a very, very good pace. Like, it helps a lot. So thank you so much for being part of my torment, EYCLF. Cindy, she's an amazing woman, tormenting here and there. We like that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that would be all for me.
Thank you very much. I'm just here smiling. So I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Cindy and Jessica, I know. I personally know them as well. Wow, it's been such an insightful session. Let me call Wisdom. Wisdom, if you don't want to call, kindly brief us on something, or let me say, top up on what Mark Lloyd has just given us.
All right, Ken, thanks.
Okay.
My name is Wisdom. Cindy got me on board, so she's a boss. I was really impressed when she came up with the idea, because in our part of the world, a lot of these resources are not available, and it doesn't help our cause. So yes, It's still early days. There's a lot to put in to get to that desired state that we would all want. But it's worth starting, and I would commend EYCLF team. You guys have been amazing. Now going to the session or the sessions we had. I had two. I actually opted to have two, knowing my own schedules. I had Godfred Shrim and Gloria Jogbenue. Yes. It started quite well, but I think Godfred had some health challenges along the line. So I personally advised him to take care of his health first. But then we continued with Gloria for all this while. We structured it, so we have been meeting once every week. So we haven't really ended as required, because the last 2 weeks where we should have rounded off, my mentee has an exam. She's even not done yet. So we agreed that after her exams on the 15th of August, we will do the 2 weeks that we missed. Yes, it's been a great experience. I must say that being a mentor is not a profession. Even as we do this, we are also mentees elsewhere, and we have had to be mentored by many others, even till date. And there's one thing I made clear to my mentees at the beginning of the session, is that you don't always have to sit in a one-on-one session with a mentor to be mentored. In fact, there are many mentors that you may never even get the opportunity to speak to. What you do is to read them, watch them, follow them, try and align with what you find worth aligning with whilst you follow these people. So some of them we do that remotely, and we continue to do that. I am an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurship is a lifelong learning experience. So I do not take the experience as one who has arrived anywhere and trying to lord that over anyone. We are all learning. It's an enterprise to learn. So I have learned a great deal from my mentees as well. But one thing is clear. You get that zeal from the mentees themselves. You can tell these people want to go somewhere. And that's the most important thing, because I have said over and over to them that take this as though you were in class and you would be given an exam to write, even though we are not doing that kind of how do we call teaching and learning. Or better still, take it as though you were in church and the preacher speaking and you are taking notes. Bottom line, it is what you do with that information that matters. So we can do this mentorship. You will be a very serious mentee. We would commend you. But if you don't put into practice, if you don't cultivate a discipline to do that which is required as desired, because all said and done, it is discipline. Because we learn from mentorship come in to either confirm or validate position. So you might be doing something, or you might be thinking in a particular direction. You find someone who has walked that path, and you speak to that person, you engage that person, and that person says, yes, it's supposed to be done. It just confirms that you have already known. So it is the discipline to execute. That's the most important thing, is the discipline to execute. Many of us who may be privileged enough to be doing the mentoring, it is only a matter of time. It's because we are a little ahead of the people who are now our mentees. So you have to be committed to walking the talk. Yes, you have to be committed to walking the talk. And I notice my mentees, perhaps because they know my what I do, they have tried very hard to skew it, or maybe they opted for someone like me to prepare them into entrepreneurship. And again, so there are things that everyone will meet. There are things that we can prescribe. Oh, this is how you're supposed to handle this. But there are many others that will come not in the same form that perhaps your mentor has experienced it. So that's where your act and handy to handle situations like that. And for us will not understand, because they cannot see what you see. And then there are many other things that you will do that will turn out to be mistakes, but it's all part of the journey. So you have to learn fast. Possible, and see what your alternative is going to be. That's how you manage a business day in, day out. So yes, it's a good experience, and I think that this first cohort have done amazing, but it will even get better in subsequent ones. So yes, we are in it. We are. to do.
Right.
So yes, kudos to everyone. We are glad we are making some impact, yes, on our generation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom, for your words. Words are very encouraging, being an and the highs and lows. So you speak from experience. So we really, really appreciate your words. Going forward, I would actually need one mentor words before we come to the close of this meeting. I'll hand it to you. Just give us 2 minutes of as we wrap up the session. So Frank Kunsen, yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I hope well.
And here.
That's right. So, thank you, EYCLF, for the opportunity. So, I could really still come from the to where this, and I was mentored, and through that, I got my job. You know, so I could really relate, and I could also relate to with what Cindy was sharing about offering value, being making your presence felt, about, so my experience has been good so far with my mentees. I had 3 mentees: Jonathan, Kelvin, and Sani Asana, and it's been great so far. With Jonathan is a medical doctor.
I see.
Yeah, who wants to establish an NGO, but then because I have experience in an NGO, I'm a founder myself, so I'm able to assist him, to put the structures in place and all that. Kelvin is still in school. He's a 3rd year HR student in UCC, and it's been good so far. Today I just checked our minutes. So one thing that we have developed is writing minutes after every meeting, and Kevin is doing so well. I mean, he's really cooperating so well. I've shared so many materials with him because personally I work with a human development organization, and so it's really like a good opportunity for me to also share what I learned from this organization. And I realized that we've had 6 meetings so far since we started. Last month he had a couple of exams. I'll just say that I always say I have this quote in the Bible, John chapter 13 verse 17 says that now that you have heard these things, happy are you if you do them. Which corroborates with wisdom's thoughts on discipline. So it's always about you doing what you have heard, you practicing what you have learned and all that. And from my last presentation on the resume and cover letter, I mentioned that you are not job hunting, rather you're offering value. So if you know that you're offering value, you need to situate yourself in that manner so that you can be able to bring value to wherever that you find yourself. You have to be a problem solver rather than just being part of the team. So thank you very much for the opportunity, and I look forward to continuing this. We've made so much impact, and we thank God for that. Yeah, my mentee too is here. Perhaps you want to add something, but yeah.
Thank you very, very much, Frank. I think we are far behind time, so let me leave the last words to our president, Cindy. The floor is yours.
All right, Ken, thank you so much. So I just want to say a big thank you to all our mentors for accepting my invitation to join the program. And sorry that I've been disturbing your DMs and all that, but it's all part of the job. I'm good. That God bless you so much. And then I'm looking forward to the next cohort, which will begin in September, God willing, because we have to do some scheduling some stuff in August, so it will begin in September. And then I've had some interaction with some of the mentees, and so far so good. They are learning one or two things from their mentors, and I'm grateful to the mentors. I'm also grateful to the mentees for also making time to learn for themselves, and also responding to my calls and all that during the weeks and all that. So thank you so much for being part of us. So Ken, you can wrap up and then.
Thank you, Cindy. So let me say a very big thank you to everyone who made time to join this session. I'm really, really grateful for you, our mentors, our mentees, our new joiners who joined. And let me know, is there anyone who is not having a mentor, so we can quickly assign the person to one? So kindly raise your hand or just type hi if you don't have a mentor.
Yeah, so that will be done. So don't worry.
Yes, boss, I've heard you. That's fine. So a big thank you to you all for giving us your time to join the session. We are really, really grateful. And I hope to the national service personnel who will be completing soon, whether you be retained or you not be retained, I think the first factor that one of the mentors made was the God factor. You need to still pray and have faith. And then if you are retained too as well, you still have to up your game, because the corporate world is a serious business. They are corporate politics, so you need to play it to your benefit, and you need to be very tactical and strategic about it. Yeah, and I hope everyone learned something from the session, and also from the national service personnel. I know you've also learned a lot from your service, and kudos to everyone once again who joined. I would have to say this is the end of the meeting, and we would keep in touch afterwards. Thank you and have a lovely night to you all.
Thank you.